Hello, welcome back to another fantasy football video. I hope everyone is doing fantastically well. Only a couple of days now until the return of the Premier League, the return of fantasy football. And today we're going to be taking a look at a team selection, just going through and discussing the picks that I have made for game week 1. It is finally time. If you are new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this content, don't forget to hit that like button, and let's get straight on into this one. So the first player we have here is Robert Sanchez from Brighton. A very popular pick this season, coming in at 4.5 million. I think very much deservedly so. He has that popularity, playing for a side who last season, expected clean sheet wise, did very well. Now it will be very interesting to see how they do without Ben White, who has just recently transferred to Arsenal. They do have a couple of replacements who can come in the likes of Duffy, in the likes of Veltman. So it'll be very interesting to see how Brighton do at the start of this season. They obviously have some very nice fixtures, which I think why a lot of people are picking him over the likes of, say, Dubravka or Guaita or even Buchmann from Watford. The first defender we have here is Luke Shaw, who I think currently is the most highly owned player in FPL for the pre-season. Now Luke Shaw obviously playing against Leeds in their first fixture. Manchester United having a very nice run of fixtures for first kind of 5 or 6. I do think his attacking potential is why a lot of people have kind of picked him over the likes of Wan-Bissaka in that 5.5 million Manchester United spot. And for 5.5 million generally, Luke Shaw offers some cracking value. And with the newly signed Rafael Varane coming in, you would very much expect Manchester United defence to improve, and so they maybe get an extra 4 or 5 clean sheets in this season, which will very much help Luke Shaw. Now in terms of the second defender, I've gone for Virgil Van Dyke. Now after hearing the Robertson injury news, a lot of people went from Robbo up to Trent. I've gone the other way. I've gone from Robbo down to Van Dyke. I think for me, the million that gives you provides so much more to the rest of the team. Now obviously come the end of the season, I do think that Trent will outscore Van Dyke, but not by that much amount to warrant that extra 1 million in price. Obviously playing against Norwich in their first game as well. I know that Van Dyke loves a cheeky header against Norwich, so I'm very much eyeing that fixture up as well, and I'm pretty pleased to have Van Dyke in there and not necessarily be going for Trent. The third defender that I'm going for is Luca Digne for Everton. Obviously new management under Rafa Benitez. We're still yet to see where kind of Digne will play. We know he'll play on that left side, whether he'll play on the left wing back or left back. It's kind of yet to be seen, but we do know that he will basically be given free reign over all set pieces, which should just increase his attacking potential even more. He picked up 9 assists last season, which I believe was the joint kind of highest attacking returns from any defender last season. So he was absolutely smashing it and went through periods of injury as well. So hopefully he can kind of keep up some of that form as well. And also coming in at 5.5 million, there's going to be less of a reliance on him getting defensive returns than there was last season when he was coming in at 6 million. So for me, Luca Digne at 5.5 million completes the back three. I'm very happy with him in there. Now the first midfielder that I am coming to is Emiliano Buendia for Aston Villa. Now actually, I don't think that Emiliano Buendia will be playing in this first fixture, and you may be sitting there thinking, why are you picking a player who is currently injured, who doesn't look like he's going to play in game week 1? Well, the fixtures they have after that, the 2 after that, look very good. Aston Villa play at home to Newcastle and Brentford, which just looks too good to ignore. And also, if he doesn't play, I have Ben White as my first bench, who plays against Brentford in their first game. So I actually quite like that as kind of, potentially Buendia plays in this first fixture against Watford, which would be absolutely great. But if he doesn't, I've got White against Brentford, which I'm absolutely fine with. So I think Buendia, obviously in pre-season, he's been linking up very nicely with his teammates. And for 6.5 million, with those first few fixtures, I think that he looks like a very exciting option. Now the next player we are looking towards in the midfield is a Bruno Fernandez, coming at 12 million. He's just a must have for me. And I may as well just show you the next player as well, and it's Mo Salah. These two for me are just complete and utter must have. They both have a very nice kind of first set of fixtures. Both will provide very good captaincy options. I'm currently on Mo Salah over Bruno for game week 1. I think 95% of the top 1k last year have Mo Salah as their captain for the start of this season, which is just pretty much absurd, but I don't think I can really go too far away from that. But I will definitely be having Bruno Fernandes in my team. I haven't made a single draft without either of them. It's just not even a consideration for me, and that's kind of just where my head is at regarding those two. In terms of the fourth midfielder, I've gone for Ismaila Sarr from Watford. Now, Watford haven't actually looked particularly encouraging in their pre-season, obviously recently just losing 3-1 pretty resoundingly to Crystal Palace away. However, they do have their first fixture at home, and I do think home fixtures this season are really going to make a difference. Also, newly promoted teams tend to score in their first home fixture when they come to the Premier League, and if any player is going to do that for Watford, I think it's going to be Sarr. He is also on penalty duties when Deeney isn't playing. It doesn't look like Deeney is going to start this season. He may come off the bench a couple of times, but Sarr still looks like the main man for Watford and will hopefully get himself off to a very good start. In terms of the attack, the first attacker I'm going for is Ollie Watkins, and you may be thinking as well, he is also currently injured. However, I do think there is a very high potential that he makes it back for game week 1. And the way I'm building this squad, I'm kind of just building it as, you know, this will be my ideal team to start game week 1 off. As if it does come out that Ollie Watkins, then I will have to look elsewhere, maybe to the likes of Callum Wilson and Danny Ings. I'm very tempted by Danny Ings ahead of Watkins anyway. I think he's going to come in and potentially absolutely light it up at Aston Villa. But currently, I've got Watkins in there right now, and I'm pretty happy with that. The next player we are going for in the attack is Calvert Lewin, also currently injured, but I do think there's a high chance that he comes back and plays in game week 1 as well. Everton, as I've mentioned previously, with Dino, have a very nice kind of set of fixtures. Dino and DCL probably would provide the best partnership in my team as well. Dino obviously whipping that ball into DCL, and that could really send me kind of flying up the leagues when you have that combination of two players in the same team scoring, and also very likely to combine with each other. You know, if Dino is going to get an assist, most likely will be through the likes of Calvert Lewin. At 8 million, I think he offers a very, very good price point for the first 10 game weeks. And the last attacker that I have in my team is Mikhail Antonio. Now, at the 7.5 mil mark, I look at Antonio and go, you are the one that I am definitely having. Absolutely no doubt. Plays against Newcastle in his first game week. They have a good set of first kind of 5-6 fixtures. And when Antonio is fit, and that is the big thing, when Antonio is fit, he's going to absolutely smash it. Obviously, with the players they now have around them, the likes of Ben Rama playing well in the preseason, Bowen there as well, Souček. There are so many kind of creative players in that West Ham side that I think Antonio at the start of the season hopefully will have a very, very good start. Now, obviously, there will be a point where they do play European football, so that'll be something to consider, but that's a little bit further down the line. Right now, I'm looking for the first kind of 4, 5, 6 game weeks, and Antonio for me is definitely in those plans. In terms of my bench, as previously mentioned, Ben White is in now. I've got Ben Foster for Watford as my second goalkeeper. He's one that I am kind of debating taking out, as he's currently 27% owned and could easily kind of drop in price and isn't necessarily actually going to play for Watford. So maybe I'll move to someone like Gunn. Obviously, Ben White in there, definitely staying. Arsenal, after game week 3, have a very nice set of fixtures. So if any of my players get injured or I fancy playing him, I can just lob him in there and away we go. Basuma there for Brighton, obviously playing week in, week out as that kind of 4.5 million midfielder I'm very happy with. And Amity there for Leicester. Now that Evans and Fofana are both injured, looks like he is going to get his spot in that Leicester City defence, as him and Soyuncu are basically the only centre-backs that Leicester City do currently have fit. And this is kind of how I'm lining up for game week 1. As I say, this is kind of my ideal lineup. This team has about 0.5 to 1 million in the bank, and I'm very much in the back of my mind thinking about Romelu Lukaku joining the Premier League and potentially how much he's going to come in for and whether I'm going to be fitting him into my team. But obviously, you know, that's maybe a little bit too much thinking ahead. Right now, this is what I'm looking at, and I'm pretty pleased with it, to be honest. Do let me know in the comments anything you change, any surprises that you do see there in this team. Let me know what teams you're going into game week 1 with. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you are new around here, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.